Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wildcat Football on the Wildcat Sports YouTube page. I'm David Warrington. I'm coming to you live from Easton Valley High School for tonight's varsity matchup between the host Easton Valley Riverhawks and your Central City Wildcats. And before we get started here, let's go ahead and give a shout out to Next Bank. Each person and family has unique financial needs. That's why we offer a variety of personal banking and lending products. We offer everything you need for your personal financial success, from checkings and savings accounts to loans and online services. Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We're going to take a quick break here as we're going to go ahead and stand for the national anthem. All right, national anthem has been played, and now we're just, clock says 8:40 away from football. So, going to go ahead and take a look at both teams. First, the Wildcats come in 0-1, lost to Springville last week. Looking at some of the stats from that game, Cole Silver had 12 carries for 104 yards on the offensive side of the ball. On defense, also had an impressive game with 8 tackles, one of which was for a loss. He led the team in rushing yards and tackles, so both of those categories. Ethan Ty was 3 of 6 for 96 yards and a touchdown at the quarterback position. Also had 5 carries for 17 yards and another touchdown on the ground, plus an interception. He was injured early in the second quarter, but he is back out there tonight. So hopefully we can see Ethan back on the field. And Marshall Vandevet also last week, 3 receptions, 123 yards and a touchdown. Also had 5 tackles, 9 kick returns for 194 yards, 21.6 per return, and he was also 2 for 2 on extra points. Now, looking at Easton Valley, they come in 1-0 after a 40-35 win last week against Janesville, and they're coming off an impressive season a year ago. They went 9-2, and they ended up losing to eventual state champions Don Bosco in the quarterfinal matchup. They did lose some big names, though. Lost 3-year starting quarterback Nate Trentcamp, leading rusher and second leading tackler Braden Farrell, and leading receiver Kay Jargo, among others, all of whom graduated as they were seniors a year ago. However, there are some big names returning for the Riverhawks as well. Quarterback Connor Groover in his first year as a starting quarterback last week was 18 of 28 for 231 yards and 3 touchdowns with no interceptions. So he had a clean game at quarterback. Also, running back Porter Fegan had 15 carries for 145 yards, 9.7 per carry and 2 touchdowns. And Andon Farrell led the team defensively with 9 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and a sack. So there's a quick look at both teams. We're about 6:50 away from kickoff now. Wildcats over in their end zone taking a knee, talking. Looks like the Riverhawks are about to meet the starting lineup for them. Should be a good game. They played last year. It was the homecoming game for the Wildcats, and Easton Valley came out on top 52-6. But as I mentioned, Easton Valley did have a very good season a year ago, so we'll see how both teams look tonight. Last week, Central City, the scoreboard doesn't look good, 60-14, but there were a lot of really nice moments, some big explosive plays. And for the most part, it was just little technical errors, not just getting overpowered and things like that. So while it ended up as not very close of a game a week ago, it was a pretty well-played game by the Wildcats all around, and definitely some things to work on, but the nice part is they're things that you can work on. It's not just they were stronger than us. It's more things like the technical aspects of mishandling snaps and stuff like that. The Riverhawks have taken their sideline. Wildcats about to do the same. As Wildcats running over to their side of the field. Just about 5 minutes away from kickoff. Once again, we're at Easton Valley High School here in Preston. Wildcats come in 0-1 after a loss last week to Springville. Riverhawks come in 1-0. They got the win last week against Janesville in a close game, 40-35.
Thank you, Patty, for all your dedication to Easton Valley.
Five minutes left on the clock. And captain's going to meet out at midfield for both teams. Earlier, before we went on the air, we had 4 captains for each team go out for the official coin toss. But this year with coronavirus trying to limit contact as much as possible, we just have 1 player from each team going out. Captain for the Wildcats is number 2, Ethan Ty. And out there for the Riverhawks is their quarterback, number 8, Porter Fegan. So looks like Wildcats won the toss. They defer. Riverhawks will receive the opening kickoff of the night. So Riverhawks will get the first crack at it here from Preston. As we have about 4 minutes to go before we play some football.
The Riverhawks will be receiving the opening kickoff.
Looks like the kick team getting set on the sidelines for the Wildcats. Marshall Vandevet, Wildcats kicker, known for sending most of his kickoffs into the end zone for touchbacks. The defense is always the big beneficiary of his excellent kicking abilities. Also a good field goal kicker as he holds the school record for longest field goal. And he's most of the time, I don't want to say automatic, but he most usually sends the extra points through the uprights. Both teams taking the field. We've got number 27, Colton Murphy, as well as looks like Carson Fegan back to receive the kickoff, and Wildcats taking the field. Clock says 3:39, but both teams are ready to go, so I think we're going to go ahead and get started here tonight. Beautiful night for football here from Easton Valley. It's currently 75 degrees and sunny as Marshall Vandevet going to get set to kick off for the Wildcats. As we're ready for some football here from Preston. Looks like we're just waiting on the scoreboard. Now they have 12 minutes set, so we're good to go. Second game of the year for both teams, just about to get underway. Whistle blows, Marshall takes his approach, and we're underway from Preston. It's a high end-over-end kick, going to be fielded about the 5-yard line by Carson Fegan. He's heading out to the left. Couple Wildcats there, he breaks a tackle. He's still going past the 30, and he's going to be dragged down by Aiden Klosterman, the freshman in the tackle. Riverhawks have pretty good field position to start the night. Ball's going to be spotted right at the 30-yard line as the Wildcat defense coming on. And we're set to go. So ball's going to be set at the 30-yard line as we're just waiting on a game ball to be sent out for the team. Ball's out there, and as soon as we get it set, we're going to be good to go. All right, 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Riverhawks have possession of the ball. Looks like it's actually going to be number 14, Connor Groover, in the backfield at quarterback. A week ago it was Porter Fegan, but not this week, as it's going to be a pitch out to Colton Murphy, and he's got some room to go, and looks like he's going to go all the way into the end zone. That's going to be an early touchdown for the Riverhawks. 50-yard touchdown run for Colton Murphy down the right sideline, and he's got the Riverhawks going early. Just broke a couple tackles, and there's no one else to get him. So Colton Murphy with a long 50-yard touchdown run to open the night of scoring. Riverhawks were practicing extra points and field goals in pregame. We'll see if they decide to go for 1 or 2 here. I hear kick it from the sideline, so it sounds like we're going to be going for the extra point. A lot of subs here for the Riverhawks as they try to figure out what to do. And it looks like they might be going for 2 after all. Sure enough, they are going to be going for 2. And Porter Fegan now on the shotgun at quarterback. He takes the snap. He's going to look to throw. Throw is there, and it's caught by Carson Fegan. Not sure of the relation there, but the 2-point conversion is good as the Riverhawks lead 8-0 here with 11:45 to go in the first. So not the way the Wildcats wanted to start things out tonight, but they will have the opportunity to respond on the offensive end themselves. So Colton Murphy takes it 50 yards on the first play of the game to the end zone. 2-point conversion is good as well, so 8-0 our score here from Preston. Wildcats will definitely want to respond here. A 3-and-out would not be ideal, as that, especially if the Riverhawks can get something going again on offense, it just puts you in a deep hole right away. Is not what you want, as Marshall Vandevet's going to be back deep to return. I mentioned in the open, he had a really nice night returning kicks last week. As the kicker is going to be Ethan Farrell, the sophomore for Easton Valley. He's going to be set to kick it off. 11:45 to play, as that first drive only took up 15 seconds. Farrell's going to kick it off for the Riverhawks. Takes his approach. It's in the air. Kind of a line drive kick fielded by Vandevet about the 8-yard line. He's going to take it up. Cuts back to the left. He's going to do a spin move, and he's going to be taken down. He'll be taken down right around the 18-yard line, it looks like. We'll see where they spot it. The Wildcat offense will set up shot for the first time. Right at the 18 or 19-yard line here to start things off. Let's call it the 19. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats as they break the huddle, come up to the line of scrimmage for their first play of the game. Looks like Ethan and Cole back in the shotgun. And snaps taken. Excuse me, that's Aiden Klosterman. He's going to get out to the right side. Couple yards, not too much there on that first play. Looks like they didn't even, the spot's going to put them right about where they started, so it's going to be about 2nd and 10 from the 19-yard line, so no gain on the carry by Aiden Klosterman. One thing to note, Ethan Ty not in the game at the moment. He was the quarterback a week ago, but he is currently on the sidelines as we've got Cole Silver and Aiden Klosterman in the backfield. Marcus Prusman playing the fullback position. Marcus Prusman takes a snap. He's going to go up the gut. Pushes forward for a couple. There is a flag on the play. Ball came loose, it looks like, as well. And looks like the Riverhawks will take over. Ball recovered by the Riverhawks, and Easton Valley is going to take over. Big mistake there for the Wildcats, as it's going to be a turnover. And the Riverhawks are going to set up in nice field positioning. Looks like the ball is going to be placed about the 23-yard line of the Wildcats. So Riverhawks coming up to the ball now. Chance to extend their lead here early on. Just 1 minute gone in this game. Connor Groover under center. Fegan motions out to the right. He's going to throw. His throw is off, and it's going to be caught for another Riverhawk touchdown. He finds Carson Fegan in the end zone for the score. So 2 plays, 2 scores for the Riverhawks as they're off to a quick start. 14-0 with the 2-point conversion yet to come. As it looks like they are actually going to go for the extra point instead this time. Ethan Farrell is going to be kicking. Be Porter Fegan holding for the Riverhawks. So not exactly the start you were hoping for if you're the Wildcats, but still a lot of ball game left as Ethan Farrell set to attempt the extra point. Snaps good, holds down, kicks on its way. It looks good, and it is good. Extra point's good, and the Riverhawks lead 15-0 here, 10:54 to go in the first quarter. So Riverhawks with a fast start, but it's still very early on in this one, as we're just over a minute into this game. 10:54 left on the clock, as the Wildcats will get another chance. The fumble really hurt the Wildcats there, as it gave the Riverhawks really good field positioning for that last possession. And it just took them 1 play to get it into the end zone. As Wildcats kick return team back onto the field, Marshall Vandevet once again will be going deep. Also have Jack Kramer and Aiden Klosterman there at the second level. If the kick's a little bit shorter, also nicely set up to block. Dustin Ferris is going to be leading the charge there. He's going to be the lead blocker for Marshall on this kick return. Ethan Farrell, just after knocking through the extra point, he's going to do the kicking once again. He's going to kick off for the Riverhawks. Farrell makes his approach. He's got it in the air. Pretty nice kick. It's going deep. It's going to be fielded about the 2 or 3 yard line by Van de Vet. He's going up the gut. He's going to be taken down. Not a bad return. Dragged down to the 22 or 23 yard line. Couple of Riverhawks in there, looks like. Easton Farrell was one of them. Couple others in there as well. Wildcats will take over 1st and 10. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 22 yard line. So 1st and 10 from the 22. Wildcats coming up to the line. They're going to try to get some offensive flow going. They haven't really been able to do much thus far, but they've only had 2 offensive plays. So Van de Vet rolling out to the right. He's going to take it. Pitch from Cole Silver, and he's still going, and he's going to be dragged down. Gain of about 3 there, so not a bad run there on 1st down by Van de Vet over on the right side. Make it 2nd and 7 from the 25 yard line. Jack Kramer is going to come into the game on offense. Tristan Dedeker will head back to the sidelines as the Wildcats going to perhaps change up the formation a little bit. Coming up to the line. Jack Kramer is going to go out to the right as the receiver. Silver in the shotgun. He takes a snap. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to be dragged down by the Riverhawks. Going to be back for a loss. Looks like Hayden Felke in on that tackle. A couple others as well, and that's going to make it 3rd and 10 from where the ball was originally spotted at the 22 yard line. They just broke through the line right away and got in there, and Cole Silver had nowhere to go. Silver running back out with the play call. 9:48 to go here in the 1st quarter. Easton Valley leads 15-0. Jack Kramer's going to be the receiver out to the left. Once again, Silver in the shotgun. Van de Vet in motion, and Van de Vet's going to take the carry over to the left. He's going to the outside. He's got a little room, but he's going to be taken down after a short gain by Carson Fegan. Gained 3 or 4 that time. That's going to bring up 4th down. Looks like the Wildcats are going to go ahead and punt. 4th and 7 it looks like, as they're going to spot it at the 25. Cole Silver is going to punt, and Porter Fegan is going to be back deep to return for the Riverhawks. Cole standing at about the 14 yard line to punt this one away. Takes a snap, and it's going to be blocked by Parker Olson. It's on the ground, and the Riverhawks are going to take over with really good field positioning as Colton Murphy gets on top of that one. And the Riverhawks are going to take over well inside Wildcat territory. Blocking just broke down, and Silver didn't have enough time to get the punt away. Riverhawks will take over. They're going to spot it right about the 16 yard line. So just 16 yards away from the end zone are the Riverhawks, as they already lead 15-0. Riverhawks come to the line. Connor Groover is in the shotgun. Two receivers to the left and one to the right. And it's going to be a pitch out to Colton Murphy. He's going over to the right side. He's still going, and Van de Vet's going to knock him out of bounds after a nice gain. Going to put him at 1st and goal at about the 5. So the Riverhawks once again knocking at the door. As they've been off to a fast start, they're going to go with some hurry-up offense, it looks like. They're not going to huddle. Once again, Groover in the shotgun with Murphy to his left this time. He's going to take the snap. Handoff goes to Murphy. He's going up the middle, and he's going to go into the end zone for another Riverhawk touchdown. Colton Murphy punches it in from 5 yards out. And the Riverhawks are up 21-0, and looks like they're going to try an extra point once again. Ethan Farrell is going to go ahead and attempt the extra point. Once again, Porter Fegan will hold. There's a snap. A little high, but handled, and it's going to be wide left. Extra points no good. And 21-0, the Riverhawks off to a very fast start. Just 9:06 to go here in the 1st quarter. We have less than 3 minutes played. As a couple technical errors by the Wildcats have led to some easy opportunities for the Riverhawks. The fumble, and then this time the blocked punt. So Riverhawks up 21-0 here early from Preston. As the Wildcats will have to answer here quickly if they don't want this thing to get out of hand. Wildcats coming back onto the field as the Riverhawks also taking the field to kick the ball away. Ethan Farrell will do the kicking once again for the Riverhawks. Marshall Vandevet back deep to return. As Farrell sets up to kick this one away. See if the Wildcats can get something going here on offense as Farrell boots it away, and it's going to be a pretty good kick, and it's going to go into the end zone for the touchback. Landed about the 2 and then took one hop into the end zone. So the Wildcats will take over 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. No chance for Marshall to get a return on that one this time. Riverhawk defense has looked good to this point. Wildcats haven't been able to figure out what they need to do to get through to this point. Let's see if things can be a little bit different this time around. Cole Silver coming in from the sideline with the play call. Once again, 9:06 on the clock. We've got Marshall Vandevet, Cole Silver in the backfield, and Brady Koba is out right at wide receiver. And the snap's over the head of Vandevet. He's going to fall on it, but they're going to go backwards. Still loose, but it's whistled dead. They say Vandevet had it. So the Wildcats are going to have it inside their own 5-yard line after the high snap. Looks like they're going to place it right about the 3-yard line, and they're going to move it up a little bit now to about the 4. So 2nd and 20 after the bad snap the first time around. 8.5 to go here from Preston. Wildcats have a long field ahead of them if they want to get something going here. 2nd and 21 from their own 4. As Aiden Closerman will take the snap, and he might have been in the end zone for the safety. It looks like they are going to say he was just shy. They're going to spot it at the 1. But this is dangerous territory right now for the Wildcats, as they're less than a yard away from giving them another 2 points and the football. So the Wildcats way back in Riverhawk territory. We say it's the 1-yard line, but the ball is pretty much in the end zone. So definitely risky territory here for the Wildcats as they break the huddle. Looks like Silver and Klosterman in the backfield. Silver takes a snap. He's going to keep it himself. He will manage to get out of the end zone, but maybe a couple more yards. Probably about the 3, so gain of 2. Still going to be 4th and long after that one. And so it's going to be 4th and very long for the Wildcats, as they're going to have to punt. Porter Fegan once again going back to return. Cole Silver will try it again. His first punt got blocked, and he's got just not much room to work this time. He's standing right at the back of the end zone. He's maybe 1 yard away from being out of bounds. As there's a snap. Pretty good snap, and he gets that one away. Fegan's going to field it about the Wildcats 33, and he's taken off to the left side. He's got some room. Flag on the play. He's going to be dragged out at the 5-yard line, but we'll see what the flag was. Looked like it might have been a hold against the Riverhawks. As it stands, ball spotted at the 5. We'll have to see the penalty. And sure enough, it will go against the Riverhawks holding call. So we're going to march it back a few yards. Still really nice field positioning for the Riverhawks, though, as they already lead 21-0. Looks like they're going to spot it right about the 14-yard line, give or take. Correction, it's going to be from the spot of the foul, so they are marching it up. It occurred at the 14-yard line, so they're going to spot it at the 24. And we're going to go ahead and take our first sanitation break of the evening. Not something you usually see, but this year with coronavirus, as everybody watching this, I'm sure, knows all too well, just a lot of precautions need to take just to be on the safe side of things. So 7:15 to go. Every 4 minutes of game time, they take a sanitation break this year, just clean off the footballs and make sure everything's all right. So let's go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor, Next Bank. Next Bank combines the values of a locally owned, independent Eastern Iowa community bank with expanded services and the latest technology to meet our customers' fast-moving lifestyle. Bank on your success with Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. So it's been a bit of a rough start for the Wildcats, as with 7:15 to play in the first quarter, they already trail 21-0. Still Still plenty of game to turn it around, but they're going to need to get a stop here as the Riverhawks are already closing in on another score at the 24-yard line of the Wildcats. It was a quick start to this game as in the very first play from scrimmage, running back for the Riverhawks, Colton Murphy, took it 50 yards to the end zone to put the Riverhawks up early. And they haven't slowed down from there. So the Wildcats will need to pick it up defensively, and they've also had some offensive miscues that have resulted in some easy opportunities for the Riverhawks. So we'll see if the Wildcats can clean it up a little bit here. Making their way back onto the field. And we're set to go as the ball's placed at the Wildcats' 24-yard line as the Riverhawks break the huddle. Coming up to the line of scrimmage. They've got Carson Fegan split out to the left. Connor Groover's under center. He's going to hand off to Colton Murphy on the left side, and Marshall Vandevet's the only guy there as he will be dragged down just shy of the end zone. Aiden Klosterman ranged over to make the tackle inside the 5, maybe about the 2-yard line. So another long run there for Colton Murphy. He's had a nice game to this point. I mentioned him in the open. He had a nice game a week ago. He had a nice season a year ago, and he's had a nice game to this point. So Wade Yoder's going to come onto the field as the Riverhawks come up to the ball. Going to call it the 3-yard line as it's 1st and goal. Groover in the shotgun, 2 backs to his right. Murphy's going to go over to the left. Hand off to Fegan, and he's going to get into the end zone for the Riverhawk touchdown. He just dragged a couple Wildcats through, and he punches it in for another score as they're going to attempt the extra point. It's been a very fast start so far for the Riverhawks as they have a chance to make it 28-0 here on the extra point. Ethan Farrell will kick it once again, and once again Porter Fegan will hold. And snaps a little low but handled, kicks on its way. It's up and good, right down the middle. Extra point is good for the Riverhawks. As with that, Easton Valley leads 28-0 with 6:44 to go here in the first quarter. So they return the ball all the way inside the 5, but penalties dragged it back to the 24. But a couple plays later, the Riverhawks were able to punch it in regardless. So once again, 28-0 here with 6:44 to play in the first. Riverhawks have had a very fast start to this game. Wildcats hoping to pick things up here as they get the football once again. Both sides returning their way back onto the field. Kick return team for the Wildcats and the kickoff team for the Riverhawks. Junior Ethan Farrell will be doing the kicking once again for the Riverhawks as he has the ball placed. Marshall Vandevet standing right at the 5-yard line for the Wildcats. His last kickoff went into the end zone, so Vandevet will see if he can take this one out. As a high end-over-end kick is going to be fielded right at the 5-yard line, range over to the right. He's going to bring it back into the middle. Ball's loose, and the Riverhawks may have recovered the fumble. There is a flag as well, it looks like. The referee is going to talk it out. We'll see what they say. The ball did come loose and was recovered by the Riverhawks, and sure enough, Riverhawks will take over once again deep inside Wildcat territory. Looks like the ball will be placed at the 16-yard line of the Wildcats. 1st and 10 for the Riverhawks, well inside Wildcat territory once again. Wildcats will have to hold tough here if they hope to get the stop as the Riverhawks come up to the line. One receiver over to the left for the Riverhawks. Got a fullback and a running back in the backfield. It's going to be a play-action pass. Looking to throw. It's caught on the left sideline, excuse me. Vandevet's there. He's joined by Klosterman and a couple others to take him down. Flags all over the place. 3 flags in total. That was Carson Fegan on the catch. Vandevet and Klosterman were the first 2 there. We'll see what the penalty is. Looks like personal foul face mask against the Wildcats. So that will be half the distance, I believe. As they're going to march it forward. Ball's going to be placed, looks like right at the 5-yard line. So the Riverhawks knocking on knocking on the door once again as they are just 5 yards out. That was Connor Groover on the throw and Carson Fegan on the catch for the Riverhawks. Van de Vet and Klosterman were right there to take him down, but somebody ended up getting the face mask. So we're going to march it forward to the 5. Ball's placed to the left hash as the Riverhawks come up to the ball. Same backs in the backfield. Olsen and Murphy. It's going to be Murphy over to the right. He breaks one tackle. Koba's there. The ball's loose. And it looks like the Riverhawks did get on top of it. But Koba made the original hit, and Silver kind of helped him out a little bit. But one of the Riverhawks did manage to fall on top of it. So negative play for the Riverhawks, but they will manage to hang on to the ball. As they went back about 6 yards, it looks like. Second and goal from about the 11, as it's going to be a sweep. Carson Fegan, he's going to the left side, and he's going to run it into the end zone for the Riverhawk touchdown. He was lined up at receiver on the right side. He had a jet sweep over, took the handoff, and punched it in from 11 yards out. So we've got 34-0 here with 5:46 to play, and the extra point is on the way. Once again, Ethan Farrell will kick it. Hayden Felke is the snapper for the Riverhawks. Porter Fegan will hold. And it's a good snap. It's down, it's up, it looks like it's through. It's good as the Riverhawks lead 35-0. Keegan, I'm not sure exactly what the status is with Ethan, but he is not on the field, so I would take that to mean that he is still injured, yes. So 35-0 here in Preston with 5:46 to play. Riverhawks had a fast start, and they haven't slowed down yet. Wildcats have had some errors that have put the Riverhawks in good position, and they've been able to capitalize on them, scoring on all 5 of their drives at this point. Van de Vet once again back to about the 5-yard line. He's set to return the kick as Ethan Farrell will tee it up for the Riverhawks. Thank you, Keegan. I appreciate the nice comment. As Farrell's taking his approach. Nice end-over-end kick. It's pushing Van de Vet back to about the 2. He's going to take it on the right or the left side. Brings it back to the middle. He's still going. He's going to be taken down about the 20. Not a bad return for Van de Vet as he fielded it just shy of the end zone. And he broke 1 or 2 tackles. Looked like Andon Farrell was in on the tackle. He was a leading tackler for the Riverhawks last week. And it will be spotted right at the 20-yard line for the Wildcats, as they're going to hope to get something going offensively. They've had their struggles to this point, but let's try to see if they can have a nice drive this time. Lucas Greif is lined up at quarterback for the Wildcats, as Jack Kramer's out to the right at receiver. Snap's going to be taken by Greif. He's going to keep it himself, but he is going to be taken down. Got maybe a yard or 2 there. Dragged a couple Riverhawks a yard or 2, but they're just going to give him the 1 yard, and it's going to be 2nd and 9. Ball's placed at the 21-yard line of the Wildcats. As Greif back out there once again. Makai Benton also into the game for the Wildcats. Don't think I've seen him out there yet. The freshman getting some playing time. Greif once again in the shotgun. He's going to take the snap, give it to Van de Vet. He's going over to the left. He's going to be taken down, as looks like the ball may have come out. But I think the Wildcats were able to get back on top of it. We'll see the indication from the referee. And yep, it looks like the Wildcats were able to recover the fumble. May have gained 1 yard on the play. It'll be just about 2nd and 9, maybe 2nd and 8, right around the 21-yard line. 1 receiver to the left, 2 to the right, as Prusman's going to go over to the left, so 2 receivers left. Greif in the shotgun. He takes the snap, looking to throw. Pressure in his face. Throw is intercepted. And it's going to be intercepted by Porter Fegan as the Riverhawks will take over. There was a lot of pressure in Lucas Greif's face right away. And that pass was just, had the route cut by Porter Fegan, and the Riverhawks will take over once again in good field positioning. Looks like they're going to place it right around the 20. As with 3:36 to go here in the first quarter, we've got our second sanitation timeout of the evening. So I'll take this opportunity to go ahead and give a shout out to our sole sponsor, Next Bank. Next Bank is your bank for what's next. Your next car, next home, next business, next phase of life, or next adventure. 5 locations to serve you: Central City, Cedar Rapids, Marion, Coralville, and Waterloo. Next Bank is proud to sponsor Central City Sports, member FDIC, equal housing lender. So we've got 3:36 to play here in the first quarter from Preston. And the Riverhawks lead 35-0. As the Wildcats just have not been able to string anything together. They've had a couple all right plays, but it's been followed by turnovers or negative plays, and the Riverhawks have been able to capitalize. So Riverhawks, once we're done with this timeout, we'll have it 1st and 10, ball spotted at the Wildcats' 20-yard line. So once again, they get to start the possession in good field positioning, and that's been the key for the Riverhawks at this point. The farthest out they've started with the ball is their own 30 on the first possession of the game. Ever since then, I don't believe they've been outside of Wildcat territory. And same is true this time around, as they'll have it 1st and 10 from the Wildcat 20 as both teams making their way back onto the field. It's going to be 2 receivers to either side for the Riverhawks, and Connor Groover in the shotgun. Groover in the shotgun as we're set to get things going once again here after the timeout. He's going to take the snap. It's a screen play. Pass caught by Parker Olson. He's going to break one tackle. He's going to be taken down by Marcus Prusman for a loss on the play. Great job by the Wildcat defense to get there and knock him back a few yards. Prusman was the one that got the tackle, but he was not the first one there. There were a couple other Wildcats that got there first. And it's going to be a loss of 3, 2nd and 13 after that play. As Murphy going to go over to the right side, 2 receivers to the right, and there's a flag on the play. Before the snap, indication looks to be against the Riverhawks. We'll see what the call is. And false start is the call against the Riverhawks. They'll march them back 5 more. It's going to be 2nd and 18 after that penalty. As the ball is going to be spotted right about the Wildcats' 27-yard line, give or take, as the Riverhawks have 1 receiver out to the left, 3 to the right. Groover once again in the shotgun. He's going to take the snap, looking to throw. He's got time, ball's in the air, and he's open for the touchdown. That's Porter Fegan in the end zone. Some sort of a miscommunication there on that play, as a couple different Wildcats talking about who was supposed to have him, but nonetheless, he ended up open and caught it along the right side and ran it into the end zone. So 41-0 as the Riverhawks going to attempt the extra point. Ethan Farrell once again to kick. Porter Fegan will hold, and Hayden Felke, the snapper, is going to send it back there. There's a snap, little high, it's fielded and it's put up. And it was good, just snuck it in against the left side. So with 2:40 to go here in the first quarter, Easton Valley leads 42-0. And as I mentioned just a little bit ago, the key really for the Riverhawks has been they've been able to get the ball in good field positioning. Wildcats have had a couple turnovers and some negative plays that have resulted in good field positioning for the Riverhawks. The Wildcats coming back onto the field. Looks like it's going to be Cole Silver back deep to return this time. Vandevet has been doing the kick returning, but not this time, as Cole Silver stands at about the 6-yard line. Farrell has it teed up once again for the Riverhawks. And he's going to take his approach. End over end wobbly kick, going to take one bounce. Silver, nobody's on it, and Silver's going to pick it up at the 5 on the right side of the field, and he's going to take it forward for about 7 yards. And he's going to be taken down. Looks like it was Hayden Felke in on that tackle. Wildcats will take over 1st and 10. And they're going to spot at about the 12-yard line of the Wildcats. So looks like we're on running clock here as the clock's still moving. 42-0. Just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Lucas Greif once again leading the huddle as the quarterback. Just a sophomore, but he played a little quarterback last week, and he played some quarterback last possession as well. As Brady Koba is going to line up at wide receiver on the right side of the field. As snap was not caught by Lucas Greif. It's in the end zone, fielded by Vandevet, but that's going to be a safety. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but the snap didn't look too high, but Greif was just a little bit confused and didn't catch it. As I said, safety, 2 points, and the Riverhawks will get the ball back. So 44-0 after the safety. As another miscue by the Wildcats results in more Riverhawk points. So 1:46 is on the clock. So this point, it just hasn't been the Wildcats tonight. They've had a couple different miscues that have resulted in good opportunities for the Riverhawks, and the Riverhawks have looked good themselves. I'll give credit where it's due. Their offense has looked really solid. They've had some nice catches and nice throws, and also some really good runs. So Vandevet's going to kick it off from the 15-yard line on the safety. So, of course, on the safety, the team that caused the safety and gets the 2 points does get to receive the ball once again. And presumably, you would think they'll have it in good field positioning as Vandevet's kicking off from the 15-yard line. As normally the kickoffs come from the 30, but after the safety, it's going to be back at the 15. Looks like Murphy and Fegan back to return for the Riverhawks as the kick is it's a good kick. It's going to go back to about the 7. Fielded by Murphy. He's making his way up the field to the 25. Breaks a tackle. He's still going to the 30. He's got some room to work past midfield, and he's going to be dragged down. Dayton Price in on the tackle. Also Colton Nowadsky in there, and he's going to be dragged down past midfield at about the 34-yard line. So a nice kick return there by Murphy. Broke a couple Wildcat tackles. And once again, Wildcats will be defending in their own territory to start things out. As the Riverhawks will have good field positioning once again. Break the huddle. Ball placed at about the 33-yard line. 1st and 10. We've got just over a minute to play here in the first quarter. Some last-minute switching as Dedeker runs off the field right before the snap. Olsen going over. It's a double switch as it's going to be number 10, Fegan on the carry. He breaks one tackle. Juke move, gets him some room. He's still going down the sidelines. He's going to be tripped up by Vandevet inside the 10, about the 8-yard line of the Wildcats. So Groover took the shotgun snap, handed it to Olsen, or excuse me, to Fegan, and Porter Fegan handed it to Carson Fegan. A couple different Fegans here on the roster. As Riverhawks set up in good position. Now number 14 takes the carry. He's still going. He's going to be dragged down short. That was Connor Groover. The quarterback took the snap and kept it himself on the quarterback keeper inside the 5, and they're going to spot him right around the 2-yard line. As a goal line set coming in for the Wildcats. And looks like the Wildcats are going to call timeout as there was some confusion on who was supposed to be on the field. Just 2 seconds left to go here in the first quarter, so this next play will be the final play of the quarter. But the Wildcats just needed a minute to talk things out, make sure everybody's clear on who's supposed to be on the field. So just 2 seconds left on the clock here in the first quarter. Easton Valley leads 44-0. As I'm coming to you live from Preston, Iowa, home of the Easton Valley Riverhawks, and they've just been off to a very fast start, as the Wildcats haven't really been able to get anything going on either side of the ball. Currently, they have 2nd and goal from the 2, as they're once again right on the edge of the end zone. Wildcats back onto the field. Got some of the bigger guys in there as it is a goal line set. Riverhawks making their way on as well. Groover under center. Take the snap, handoff goes to Murphy, and he's going to punch it into the end zone. Touchdown Riverhawks as the horn sounds to end the first quarter. 50-0 with the extra point yet to come. A 50-point first quarter for the Riverhawks as the Wildcats just haven't had an answer. Once again, Ethan Farrell will attempt the extra point. Little confusion as the clock did hit 0. Some guys started coming off the field, but when a touchdown is scored to end the quarter, you do still go ahead and do the extra point or 2-point conversion, extra point in this case. As Felke will snap it, Fegan will hold it, and Ethan Farrell will be doing the kicking here on the extra point. As a little bit of a high snap, handled, and it's going to be blocked. It was a line drive kick. I think Dustin Ferris took it right in the gut. Extra point's no good, but that's going to end the first quarter. Easton Valley leads 50-0. As it just wasn't the quarter for the Wildcats, as they didn't have an answer on either side of the ball. Have a chance to hopefully regroup and see if they can get something going here in the second quarter. So I'll take this chance once again to give a shout out to our sponsor, Next Bank. Next Bank is a financially strong community bank. Invested partnerships help their customers achieve what's next for their financial dreams. Next Bank has 5 locations to serve you: Central City, Cedar Rapids, Marion, Coralville, and Waterloo. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. So a very nice first quarter there for the Riverhawks. They managed to put up 50 points on the board as they started fast and didn't slow down, scoring on the first play from scrimmage. And they just kept things going. As to start the second quarter, Wildcats will receive the kickoff. Lights are turned on here in Preston as the sun is just starting to go down. Starting to get a little bit darker. Wildcats onto the field to return the kick. Riverhawks looking to join them momentarily. Once again, Cole Silver is going to be back deep to return for the Wildcats. As kicking team for the Riverhawks is out there. Ethan Farrell is going to be doing the kicking once again. Been doing the extra points as well. He's knocked the majority of them through. Missed one wide left and had one blocked there right before the end of the first quarter. Dustin Ferris got a hold of the kick and blocked it right with his midsection. Otherwise, he's been perfect on extra points except for those 2 occasions as he's taken his approach here. End over end kick going to be fielded by Silver about the 5. Up to the 10, 15, through the 20, and he's going to be taken down just shy of the 30-yard line. Andon Farrell in on the tackle for the Riverhawks. As nice return there by Cole Silver is going to set up the Wildcats pretty nicely. 1st and 10, going to spot it right about the 28-yard line. So the Wildcats going to go ahead and give it another shot here. We are on running clock, so the rest of the game likely will progress pretty quickly, as clock doesn't stop except for very few instances. Little confusion on who's supposed to be out there as Klosterman just running back up onto the field. Kramer and Klosterman in the backfield. Kramer in the quarterback position. He's going to take the snap. He's going to roll up to the right side. He's going to be taken down for a loss. Back at about the 25-yard line. It was a little bit of a high snap. He had a little bit of trouble handling it. And he ends up going backwards 3 yards on that play. Ball spotted at the 25-yard line. Loss of 3 on that play. As we're going to try it again. 2nd and 13 as Lucas Greif comes onto the field at the last minute. He's going to be the receiver out to the left. Jack Kramer in the shotgun at quarterback. Kramer takes a snap. Handoff goes to Klosterman. He breaks one tackle. Still going, but he's going to be taken down for a loss. As the Wildcats go backwards once again on that play. And that's going to make it 3rd and long. We'll see where they spot it. Tristan Dedeker back onto the field for the Wildcats. Ball spotted right about the 23-yard line. Make it 3rd and 26 according to the scoreboard. That doesn't sound right. Probably about 3rd and 16 here. Wildcats break the huddle. Silver and Klosterman in the backfield. Prusman at the fullback position. Snap's taken. Cole Silver's going to run it. He's going to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. Once again, Andon Farrell in on that tackle. He's been in on quite a few tackles. Looks like they're going to give him a gain of 1, but it's still going to be 4th and long after the short carry by Silver. As see if the Wildcats are going to punt it away. Snapper Jaden Hanson is not on the field, so maybe they are going to try to go for it. The Riverhawks think they're going to be punting, as they've got a man back deep. But it looks like the Wildcats are not going to punt, as they're in the huddle, coming up to the line. And at this point, it's almost like, what do the Wildcats have to lose by getting another offensive snap in? As down 50-0 here in this early second quarter. Kramer pitches it out. Aiden Klosterman on the carry. He's going to be gobbled up by a couple of Riverhawks. He's going to go backwards on that play, and the Riverhawks will take over on downs. Once again, well inside of Wildcat territory. Looks like Carson Fegan on that tackle for the Riverhawks. As ball spotted at the Wildcats' 22-yard line. Got a couple younger guys in there for the Wildcats. Makai Benton and Dayton Price on the field, both freshmen. Going to get some snaps here on the defensive side of things as the Riverhawks break the huddle. 1st and 10 from the Wildcats' 22-yard line. Groover in the shotgun. Murphy directly to his left. He's going to take the snap. He's going to throw. Throw is caught. He breaks the tackle. He's still going. He's got a chance, and he's going to go into the end zone for the touchdown. That was Porter Fegan on the reception. Caught the pass from Connor Groover, and they punch into the end zone once again. As with 8:01 to go in the second quarter, Riverhawks lead 56-0, extra point yet to come. So 22-yard pass and catch results in another Easton Valley touchdown. Pass from Connor Groover, caught by Porter Fegan. As Ethan Farrell's going to once again go for the extra point. Low snap, they're going to go for 2, throws up in the air. Silver, nice coverage, but it's going to be caught by Keaton Wilson. Cole Silver had some nice coverage, but right as the ball arrived, Wilson made a nice move to get in front and catch the ball. 2-point conversion's good. As originally they planned for the extra point, but the snap from Hayden Felke was a bit low. Couldn't be handled by Porter Fegan, and he decided to throw. 2-point conversion was good. So with 8:01 to go here in the first, 58-0 is the score. As the Riverhawks have been able to put together some really nice drives to this point. Wildcats going to be set to return again. Cole Silver back deep. Luke Bird's running onto the field. He's going to be taken over in that second level position. Be a lead blocker eventually for Silver. And whistle blown. Looks like we're going to take a timeout here. An official timeout here, 8:01 to go. So we're going to take a quick break. Take this chance to give another shout out to our sponsor, Next Bank. Next Bank represents a new approach to banking in Iowa. Expanded services, more technology, and increased personal attention. If you want to take your banking to the next level, Next Bank is for you. Next Bank is proud to sponsor Central City Sports, member FDIC, equal housing lender. So if you're just joining us here, we are live from Preston, Iowa, home of the Easton Valley Riverhawks. As it's been a good start for the Riverhawks, to say the least. They lead 58-0 here with 8:01 to go in the second quarter. Wildcats have struggled to get anything going offensively. They've had few plays in the positive direction, as they've had quite a few plays for loss and some turnovers as well. Once again, 8:01 is on the clock. still in the official timeout, as mentioned earlier. After every 4 minutes of play this season, we take an official timeout, and that's has to do with the COVID-19 pandemic everyone is all too aware of. As both teams coming back onto the field. Once again, Cole Silver back deep to return. He's going to line up right about the 5-yard line. That's where they've been lining up most of the night. And Ethan Farrell will kick it off once again for the Riverhawks as we're set to go once again. Farrell's kick in the air, end over end, fielded right about the 5-yard line. Silver moving up to the 15. Some good blocking, and he's got a good return up to about the 26-yard line. Looked like he had a little more room than that, but one of the Riverhawks did manage to get an arm in there and trip him up. Still a pretty nice return there by Silver. Wildcats will take over 1st and 10. Looks like they're going to place it right at the 25-yard line. Brady Koba running back onto the field and back off the field as Wildcats come up to the line. Looks like Jack Kramer's in the shotgun with Aiden Klosterman to his right. Klosterman in motion. Pitch out to him on the right or the left side. He's going to be taken down after a gain of a couple. Dakin Kramer was one of the Riverhawks in there. As gain of about 2, make it 2nd and 8. Ball at the 27-yard line. So there was a good solid run there by Aiden Klosterman to push forward. Keegan, I'm not sure about Marshall, but he is not on the field at the moment, and he hasn't been returning the kicks either, so I'm not sure if it's an injury, but he is not on the field, no. As Klosterman takes a snap, he's going to be gobbled up in the backfield. As they're still going, he's going to be dropped down for a pretty solid loss there on the play. Going to bring him back to about the 20-yard line. Well, forward progress is going to give him a little more than that. Ball's going to be set at the 24 after the forward progress is taken into account. It's going to be 3rd and 11. Wildcats 3rd and long here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Kramer in the shotgun. Sends Klosterman to the left. He bobbles the snap. It's a dangerous play, and it's going to be recovered by the Wildcats. But the ball was on the ground as Kramer couldn't quite handle it on the catch. And the pitch went right between the arms of a Riverhawk onto the ground, but it was recovered by the Wildcats, and they are going to punt. Another loss on that play is going to make it about 4th and 13. Ball's at the 22-yard line as Cole Silver is going to punt. Cole standing at his own 12-yard line as it's going to be Porter Fegan back to return the punt. Good snap, punts away. It's a pretty good one. Going back, it's a really nice punt. It's back to the 10, the 5, and it goes all the way into the end zone for a touchback. What a punt by Cole Silver. Standing at his own 12-yard line, he sent it 68 yards into the end zone for the touchback. What a punt there by Cole. As Riverhawks will take over 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line after the touchback. As looks like starters still in there for the Riverhawks as they lead 58-0. Majority of the starters still in for the Wildcats. A couple young guys have been getting in there every couple possessions or so. Riverhawks come up to the line 1st and 10 from their own 15. As Groover in the shotgun, Murphy to his right. Takes a snap, pitch over, goes to Murphy on the right side. He breaks one tackle. He's still going. He's still going to the 30. He's across midfield to the 30. Silver's the only one with a chance, and he's going to go all the way into the end zone. Colton Murphy with another touchdown run for the Riverhawks, and that's going to extend their lead. As we've got 4:31 to play here in the second quarter, and the Riverhawks lead 64-0, extra point yet to come. Ethan Farrell's going to try it again for the extra point. There's a long run there for the Riverhawks, 65 yards to the end zone for Colton Murphy. Farrell will attempt the extra point. Good snap, good hold. Kick looked like it might have been tipped, but nonetheless it does go through the uprights, and it's good. We got 4:31 to play here from Preston. Riverhawks lead 65-0.
With 4:31 remaining in the half, that's 65.
Just hasn't been the Wildcats' night to this point, as the Riverhawks have just pretty much been able to do what they wanted to on both sides of the ball. And on that last play, Murphy took it in from 65 yards out for the score. Wildcats back onto the field to return the kick. Cole Silver will be back deep once again as Ethan Farrell's going to send it away for the Riverhawks. Once again, Silver set up about his 5-yard line. He's got Luke Birds and Aiden Klosterman's at the 15, Brady Cobe at the 25 as Farrell's going to send it away. Wobbly kick. It's going to keep going into the end zone for the touchback. Was on the left side of the field. Landed about the 2 or the 3, took one hop into the end zone for the touchback. It'll come out to the 15-yard line as the Wildcats will take over. So 4:31 is on the clock, as the Wildcats will have possession of the ball at their own 15-yard line. Lucas Greif coming in from the sideline with the play call. Wildcats coming up to the line of scrimmage. Ball placed at their own 15-yard line. Klosterman and Greif in the backfield. Greif takes a snap. He's going to take it himself. Pushes through. Short gain on the play, maybe gain of 1. Looks like Hudson Felke was the one in on the tackle that time. Hayden Felke was also in there. They'll give him a little more than I thought he had. Going to give him a gain of 2, and the ball will be spotted at the 17, 2nd and 8. Good strong run there by Lucas Greif. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8 from the 17-yard line as Wildcats come up back to the line of scrimmage. Once again, Greif and Klosterman, the 2 in the backfield. Just a sophomore and a freshman, respectively, those two. As pitch is going to go to Klosterman on the left side. Several Riverhawks in there. Carson Fegan and Dakin Kramer are both there right away as he's going to go backwards for a loss. The freshman Aiden Klosterman took the pitch on the right side. Loss of 3. That's going to make it 2nd and 11. Ball placed at the 14-yard line of the Wildcats. Clock's down, about 3 minutes to go here as the Wildcats make their way up to the line. Same 2 in the backfield, Greif and Klosterman. Klosterman in motion to the right. It's going to be a pitch out on the right side to Klosterman. He's going to be dragged down for a big loss. Went backwards quite a bit on that play as the Riverhawks were right there. Parker Olson in the tackle. As once again, Wildcats are going to punt. Cole had a really nice punt last time, sent it all the way to the end zone from his own 12-yard line. He's standing right at the goal line this time, so we'll see if we can send another nice punt. Bit of a high snap, handled no problem. End over end punt's going to bounce right at the 40. It's going to take a Riverhawk roll as Klosterman will down it inside Wildcat territory right about the 38-yard line, where the Riverhawks will take over here with about 2 minutes to go in the first half of play. If you're just joining us, 1:50 to go here in the first half as Easton Valley leads 65-0 over the Wildcats. Riverhawks coming up to the line of scrimmage. Groover once again under center. Fegan and Murphy in the backfield at the 2 backs. Handoff's going to go to Porter Fegan on the left side. Breaks one tackle. He's still going to the 30. Cuts back across the field, and a big hit by Cole Silver sends him down. It's going to be 2nd down and medium after the pretty good first down run. Cole Silver with a nice hit. Cole Silver was one of the hardest hitters last year on the team. This year, I'd argue he's definitely the hardest hitter as Jaden Hanson runs onto the field the last minute. Handoff's going to go to Murphy as a good job by the Wildcat defense there to drag him down. Brady Cobo is in on the play. Looks like Marcus Prue's been in as well. It's going to be 3rd and short. About 3rd and 1, ball at the Wildcats' 29-yard line. Less than a minute to play here in the first half. Groover in the shotgun. Murphy to his left. Murphy's going to move over to the right. Snap hits Murphy, and the Wildcats get on top of it. Wildcats will take over with 40 seconds to play. We'll see if they even get a snap off. Just some bad timing there by the Riverhawks as Murphy was lined up to the left of the quarterback, Groover. He took one step in front and was going to move over to the right side of the field, but the snap came right as he was moving across, and it actually hit him right on the arm and went on the ground. Aiden Klosterman was able to recover it as Cole Silver running in with the play call. And looks like Coach Myers from the sideline telling him just let it run down, and we're going to go to halftime. As with such little time on the clock. No sense in running just one play as the clock will hit all zeros. As we've played one half here in Preston, Riverhawks lead 65-0. Just not the Wildcats half to this point. The Riverhawks looked really good on both ends of the ball, offensively and defensively. As 15 minutes put on the clock for the halftime break. Easton Valley leads 65-0. Offense came quickly there for the Riverhawks in this game so far. First play of the game, they took it into the end zone from 50 yards out. It's been the 3 backs, the quarterback, the fullback, and the running back to this point for the Riverhawks. As Porter Fegan's had some nice runs, Connor Groover has gotten it done through the air. His main target has been Carson Fegan. And Colt Murphy's also gotten it done on the ground. Just a bit of a rough half there for the Wildcats as they had some turnovers, they had some negative plays. And all in all, just weren't really able to string anything together as they ended up scoreless here in the first half of play. In a game like this, the thing you have to think about is, are you going to come back from 65 points down and win? Possibly, but probably not. But you can always build on things. You can have some nice plays, put together a nice scoring drive, and punch it into the end zone. And that's just something you can build on from week to week as we move towards next week and the weeks to come to kind of get some of those kinks out of the offense and try to get things going. This time we'll go ahead and talk about the upcoming schedule for the Wildcats. A shortened 7-game regular season this year as opposed to the usual 9. Generally, each team gets 9 games in the regular season, but due to effects of the COVID pandemic, there are only going to be 7 this year. But on the flip side, every team does get 1 postseason game. That's not usually the case. I believe only 16 teams generally make it from 8-man and get to have a postseason contest. This year, that will not be the case as each and every team will get the chance to play in the postseason, which is a pretty cool experience. The Wildcats did make it to the postseason, and I'm sure many of you listening remember 2 years ago, went 8-1 in the regular season, got to play in the postseason at Don Bosco. It's a really cool environment playing in the postseason. Lots of fans made the trip. I think Central City had more fans than Don Bosco that game as all the bleachers were filled and it was a standing room only type of game. It was a good back and forth contest as Wildcats did not come out on top against the Dons, but they gave them their best shot, and as I'm sure everybody knows, Don Bosco, one heck of a team. They've won state a lot the past few years, including the previous year. And kind of ties back to Easton Valley. Easton Valley fell to the Dons last year at Don Bosco as well. So after tonight, the Wildcats will go home for a couple of games. They will host, speaking of the Devils, they will host the Don Bosco Dons next Friday, September 11th. And then Friday, September 18th, they will host the Key. They will host the Keyhawks. Then they'll go back on the road. They'll travel to Dunkerton on Friday, September 25th. They'll travel to Midland Friday, October 2nd, and they'll have their final regular season contest of the year. They'll come back home to play the West Central Blue Devils Friday, October 9th. So that's what the regular season looks like for the Wildcats, and then, of course, after that final game on October 9th, we'll figure out all the postseason implications and see what they're doing at that point. At this point, let's switch gears a little bit, talk about a different sport, Central City Volleyball. Just getting started. I believe they had their first regular season game last night. Came out on top against the Marquette Catholic Mohawks. They had their first games of the year in a tournament Saturday, August 29th at Cascade. They lost to the Cascade Cougars, the host of the tournament, 2-0. But they did take 2 victories, beat Waterloo East 2-1, and they also beat Northland 2-1 as well. And as I said, yesterday, Thursday, September 3rd, they traveled to Marquette Catholic High School in Bellevue, and they took down the Mohawks 3-0. So 3-1 record for the Wildcats volleyball team to this point. Haven't quite been able to catch a game this year, but I definitely hope to get out and see our girls in action. Sounds like they might have a pretty good season this year. Once again, 3-1 already. I'll take this opportunity to go ahead and give a shout out to Next Bank. As I said, Next Bank, our sole sponsor of Wildcat Sports in the broadcast we do here, like this one you're listening to right now. What are you saving for? Whether it's retirement, your child's education, a new car, or just a rainy day, Next Bank has the right savings account for whatever's next for you. Next Bank is committed to help you achieve what's next for your financial dreams. Bank on your success with Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. And we really can't say enough about what Next Bank does to help the community and the school and, of course, the Wildcat Sports broadcast you're listening to right now. But they don't just sponsor this. Next Bank is a proud supporter of Central City School District activities, including a movie night sponsor, donation to the PTO Children in Need Fund, a teacher luncheon, sole sponsor of the Wildcat Cast, which includes all of our Wildcat sports, program typesetting and printing. They do all the programs for volleyball, football, basketball, wrestling, and track. So whenever you come into a Wildcat sporting event and grab one of the programs to see the names of all the players, you can thank Next Bank for getting those made for us. They sponsor the homecoming parade, no cost financial services. They take care of post-prom, fine arts boosters, the robotics team they help out a lot. They also put a field in the Wildcat baseball field, or excuse me, they put a sign in the Wildcat baseball field. If you managed to get out to a baseball game this year, you saw a lot of signs out in the outfield against the fence. Next Bank is one of them. They're a sponsor of the yearbook, and they also hold a mental health and community resources night, which is a super nice opportunity to have, to be able to go and attend that. So we can't say enough about all the stuff Next Bank does here in Central City to help us out, and we definitely wouldn't be able to do this Wildcat Sports broadcast without them. So a big thank you to Next Bank. If you're just joining us, we're at halftime right now. 8 minutes are on the clock as the Riverhawks lead 65-0 after a really nice first half from the Riverhawks. Wildcats had their struggles, but we'll see if they're able to manage to put together some good, nice scoring drives here in the second half. Like I kind of mentioned a little bit earlier here in the beginning of our halftime, probably not a game you're going to end up getting a win in the scoreboard when you go down 65-0 at the half, but there's always opportunities to improve, and maybe next week it'll be a situation where we need a big play or a big drive or a big stop. You can get that experience right here, even in the game where maybe you're not going to come out on top. There's always opportunities to improve. The big thing I liked last week from the Wildcats when they kind of went down a little bit there near the end of Springville, they didn't put down their heads and just give up. They were playing hard, especially the young guys. Young guys like Aiden Klosterman, Jaden Hanson, Dayton Price, Makai Benton, some of our freshmen, they're out there getting some good playing time. They didn't put their heads down and quit, which as a freshman, it's difficult. If you've ever played football at a small school like Central City as a freshman, it's not the most fun thing sometimes. You have to do kind of the dirty work during practice days. You have to run the scout team, kind of get beat up on by the older guys a little bit. And then on game days, you don't always get the playing time you want. But the guys that did manage to get into the game, which was pretty much everybody, they didn't put their heads down and pout. They just kept playing hard, which is all you can ask from your team at the end of the day. So got about 6.5 to go here in the halftime break. Riverhawks, or excuse me, I believe the Wildcats will get the second half kickoff. Wildcats won the coin toss earlier today, and they elected to defer to the second half. Riverhawks elected to receive the kick. So the Wildcats will get the ball to start the second half. See if they can put together a good, solid drive. Maybe gain a little bit of confidence back. About 5.5 to go here in the halftime break. Next week, as I mentioned, the Wildcats will come home for the first time this season and host the Don Bosco Dons. And I believe that will also act as our senior night. Of course, not our last regular season home game of the year, but with all the uncertainties of a football season in the midst of a pandemic, everybody wants to make sure that they're able to get in a senior night presentation for the seniors that have worked so hard these past 4 years, plus even more years going back to middle school and even youth playing days. So I believe next week will be the senior night presentation. That's how it was at Springville last week, as at halftime they recognized their seniors, and I think that's what we're doing as well. It's 4.5 to go here before second half kicks off, and I believe they will also put an additional 3 minutes on the clock after the current 4:20 or so expires in order to give the guys a chance to get stretched out and loose and make sure they're actually ready to go for the second half. 3 minutes referred to as the stretch period. Actually, a rule you have to be back onto the field, whether you go to your locker room or you just come over to the sideline. You have to be back out there by that 3-minute mark, otherwise it's a 15-yard penalty. So clock still rolling down. We got about 3.5 to go here. If you're just joining us, I'm coming to you from Preston, Iowa, home of the Easton Valley Riverhawks. Wildcats traveling to Preston to take on the Riverhawks. It's been all Riverhawks at this point, 65-0 after 2 quarters of play. So not an ideal night for the Wildcats, but we'll see what the second half holds, see if they can put together some positive drive, maybe move the ball in the right direction a little bit. Clock reads 3 minutes as the Riverhawks are back up and going to take the field to get ready for the second half. Wildcats still over on the right side end zone, taking a knee. Uniforms for both teams. The Wildcats are wearing white jersey with black numbers, red trim on the jerseys, and the pants are red as well. Riverhawks wearing their orange jerseys. We've got white numbers, almost a charcoal type color trim, not quite black, not quite gray, and they're wearing white pants tonight. Kind of setting the stage for you a little bit here from Preston, as both teams heading back over to the sidelines to get the second half of play underway. Clock still reads just over 2 minutes. as the Wildcats coming onto the field to get stretched out and loose as we get ready to start the second half. As we get later into the night here, it's getting a little bit more chilly, but still a nice night for football. 68 degrees here is the temperature in Preston. Not much wind to speak of at all, just coming over west-southwest at about 1 mile per hour. So it's been a beautiful night for a football game, as we're just about 1 minute away from the second half, although they will more than likely put the additional 3 minutes on the scoreboard before we get going. If you are just tuning in, I'm David Warrington, live in Preston, Iowa, as the Riverhawks currently lead over the Wildcats 65-0, as we have less than a minute before second half of play gets underway. Looks like the Wildcats are going to circle up on the field, do some stretches as a team to get loose and ready for the second half of play. I just said 1 mile per hour wind. That was according to my weather app, but wind feels like it's picking up a little bit. Flag is, a couple gusts have moved the flag a little bit. Not enough wind to have any sort of an effect on the game, more than likely, though. Clock has hit zeros, but there will be the 3-minute stretch period as well. Wildcats will receive the kick to begin the second half of play, as 3 minutes has been put up on the clock, and it's now rolling down. Clock reads 2:45 now as we're getting closer to resuming play here. Both teams are wrapping up their stretches as we're getting set for the second half of play. Clock reads 2 minutes. Just a couple more minutes till we resume play here from Preston. Jack Kramer and Marshall Vandevet out on the field for the Wildcats playing catch, getting their arms loose. Vandevet typically a wide receiver, but he did throw a couple times last week. See if they sneak in a pass play for him in the second half. Just 1 minute on the clock now as we're going to be set to get things underway here in the second half. Wildcats look like they're about to come back onto the field. They will receive the kick. Front line back on the field for the Wildcats as the other four still waiting to take the field, but the front line kick returners, we got Arwen Betzer, Tristan Dedeker, Braden Rickles, and Marcus Prusman up there. That's the front line of the kick return team as they're right about the 40. Dustin Ferris at the 25. Jack Kramer and Aiden Klosterman at the 15, and Marshall Vandevet is back out there once again to return after Cole Silver returned a couple. He's set up right about the 5-yard line as the Riverhawks kickoff team has come onto the field. And Ethan Farrell will do the kicking once again for the Riverhawks.
For the Wildcats. Ethan Farrell has got it teed up for the Riverhawks.
Ethan Farrell set to kick it off, and second half of play is just about to get underway here as the kickoff is in the air. It's a line drive kick, and it's going to go out of bounds right about the 15-yard line. Flag on the play for the fact that it went out of bounds. I believe in this situation the Wildcats can either choose to have the Riverhawks re-kick, or they can just take it with the penalty added on. But it looks like T's back out there, and they are going to try it again. Like Farrell just didn't quite get a hold of it as he wanted to. He's had some good kicks, couple touchbacks, but that one just probably looked like it came off the side of his foot perhaps and just rolled right out of bounds about the 15. So they're going to march them back, and they're going to try the kickoff again. They'll re-kick it this time from the 25, so they'll go back 5 yards. And they're going to re-kick. Hopefully these can set the Wildcats up in good field positioning to start off the second half. Marshall Vandevet stood right about the 8-yard line. Marshall Vandehecke, to quote the PA man here in Preston, as kickoff is in the air. Taking about the 11-yard line. Vandevet's going to be past the 20. He's still going to 25. He's going to be dragged down about the 30-yard line. A couple Riverhawks in there. Aiden Hewling, Hayden Felke both in there for the Riverhawks. The Wildcats will take over 1st and 10. They're going to spot it right at the 30-yard line. Wildcats will have pretty good field positioning to start things out. Vandevet will go off the field for this offensive possession. Silver and Klosterman will be in the backfield. And Prusman's in the fullback position. Klosterman takes the snap on the right side. He's got a pretty good gain there. Nice run up to the 5-yard line. Dakin Kramer in the stop for the Riverhawks. Possibly the best play of the night for the Wildcats to start the second half as he had a nice run there up 5 yards. And it'll be 2nd and 5 from their own 35-yard line. Cole Silver coming back with the play call. Cole had a nice game last week. Led the team in tackles and also led the team in rushing yards. He had a couple that were just shy of the end zone, but did manage to punch one in as we've got 2nd and 5. Direct snap to the fullback, Marcus Prusman. He's pushing forward. He's going to gain 3 or 4. It'll be 3rd and short. Looks like they're going to spot it right about the 39-yard line. Maybe the 38 perhaps. Somewhere in between the two, and that'll make it 3rd and a long one. So 3rd and short for the Wildcats. See if they can convert this 3rd down opportunity. Once again, Silver and Klosterman in the backfield. Silver takes a snap. He's fumbled. He picks it up, and he's going to be pushed back. Going to go down for a loss in the play. Silver caught the snap. He was going to spin, fake the handoff, but maybe a little miscommunication on who was actually supposed to take the handoff as he couldn't quite handle it. That's going to make it 4th down. 4th and about 3 after the loss on the last play. Ball spotted at the 37-yard line of the Wildcats. They are going to go for it. Offense is still on the field. Coming up to the line, Prusman is the fullback. Silver and Klosterman in the backfield. Klosterman's going to take it. He's going to push forward, but he's going to be taken down short. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more as they're going to turn it over on downs. Riverhawks will take over in Wildcat territory. Dakin Kramer was the first Riverhawk there. And looks like they are going to spot it at the 36-yard line of the Wildcats as the Riverhawk line comes up to the line of scrimmage. Groover under center, Murphy in the backfield. Groover's going to pitch it out to Murphy on the left side. He's got some room to work, misses a tackle, and he's still going. He's going to be tripped up, but he won't go down as he's going to go into the end zone for the Riverhawk touchdown. Couple Wildcats had a chance at him, but none of them could get him down as he stumbled his way the last couple of yards into the end zone for another Riverhawk score. Riverhawks have passed the 70-point mark, 71-0 here, as they're going to try yet another extra point. Looks like the referee calling for official timeout. Looks like an injury, nothing serious, as Jack Kramer just kind of limps off the field. Referee just wanted to get him a chance to get off the field. Ethan Farrell once again is going to try the extra point. He's been good tonight, just missed a couple. A little bit of a high snap. It is handled. It's up, and looks like it might have gone wide left, and yes, it did. High snap might have thrown him off his rhythm just a little bit, as that extra point's no good. So we've got 8:52 to play here in the third quarter, and the Riverhawks lead 71-0. So the Wildcats put together a couple nice plays, but a fumble pushed them back and they couldn't convert the 4th and medium. And the Riverhawks took one play into the end zone. Once again, 8:52 on the clock here in the third quarter of play. Vandevet comes out. He's going to be the deep man on the kick return. Kickoff team coming out for the Riverhawks. Ethan Farrell once again will be doing the kicking. This kickoff to start the second half went out of bounds, but they re-kicked, and he managed to keep it straight the second time around. He's had pretty good kickoffs most of the night. See if he can get another one again. We'll see what Vandevet can do on the returning end as the kickoff's in the air. Pretty good kick, but it's once again creeping towards the out-of-bounds line, and it will go out of bounds right at the 3-yard line. So we'll see if the Wildcats elect to have him re-kick, and I think that's the signal Myers just gave from the sideline, so I think we're going to re-kick. They'll march it back 5 yards and try it again, this time from the 25-yard line. So everybody will move back 5, and we're going to try it again. Ethan Farrell setting it up at the 25-yard line this time after it went out of bounds. Vandevet set up about the 8-yard line. See if he can break off an explosive return, maybe give the Wildcats a little bit of a spark. That kickoff's going to the left side, field about the 12. Vandevet moving up past the 25, and he's going to be taken down about the 30-yard line. Colton Murphy on the tackle. And he's going to be, we're going to spot it right about the 30-yard line. We'll see where the referee sets it down. Another pretty solid return there by Vandevet. We'll set it up 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Lucas Greif is leading the huddle this time around. He's played a little bit of quarterback tonight. Looks like he might be doing so again as Tristan Dedeker runs onto the field last minute. And I'm sure we'll be seeing some younger guys as this game has gotten out of hand. And most of the starters still in there for the Wildcats, but they've been sneaking in some younger guys when they get a chance, as that snap's taken by Prusman, the fullback. He's pushing forward. Got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1, as they will give him 1 yard on the carry. Riverhawk defensive line was there right away. And I think we're going to take our first official timeout of the second half here with 7:47 to play in the third quarter. And I'll take this opportunity to give another shout out to our sponsor, Next Bank. What's next on your list of financial goals? Wherever you're going next, Next Bank has a loan that's right for you. Your next car, your next home, even your next adventure, all are within reach with a Next Bank loan. Convenient locations in Central City, Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Marion, and Coralville. Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. So the Wildcats will have 2nd and 9 once we return to play here. Riverhawks do hold the big lead 71-0. As things just haven't really gone the Wildcats' way this evening. Ball will be spotted at the Wildcats' 32-yard line when they come back out here. Once again, every 4 minutes of game time this season, we're taking a break. Players can get some water and they can make sure proper sanitation is taking place where it needs to be. So the Riverhawks are back out there and the Wildcats are making their way back out there as well, as we've got 2nd and 9 from their own 32. Lucas Greif is going to be in the shotgun, playing quarterback, and he's going to have Cole Silver back there with him as well. And snaps taken by Silver. It's mishandled. He managed to avoid one Riverhawk, but he's going to be taken down. Keaton Wilson was there. A little bit of a high snap. He couldn't quite handle it. That'll move him back. It's going to be third and about 12. Ball's going to be spotted right around the 29-yard line. Lucas Greif coming in with the play call. Wildcats break the huddle. 7:15 on the clock. Silver takes a snap, a nice one-handed grab. Got a little bit of room to work. Not a bad run there by Cole at all as he managed to push forward to the 39. That will bring up 4th down, though. Snap was a little bit to his left. He had to kind of snag it with one hand. Not a bad gain on the play, all things told, though. 4th and 7, give or take. Ball spotted at the 39-yard line of the Wildcats, just shy of midfield. As they are going to go for it here. Looks like Greif and Silver again in the backfield. Prue's been set up at fullback. Silver takes a snap once again, and he's going to be wrapped up right away. Andon Farrell broke through the line and takes him down for a loss. As that's going to be a turnover on downs. Ball's going to be spotted right about the 30-yard line of the Wildcats. So once again, possession starts in Riverhawk territory. And it looks like they are going to be bringing in the backups. As some new faces out there for the Wildcats, or excuse me, for the Riverhawks, but also some new faces for the Wildcats. So I guess both statements are true. A couple freshmen in there for the Wildcats. Dayton Price and Mackay Benton. Also new players in there for the Riverhawks. As it's going to be a keeper by Ashton Hewling. Going on the right side, he'll be taken down for a loss. Colton Nowatzki was in there. Mackay Benton also in there. Christopher Greif right in the same area as well. Good play there by the Wildcat D, and that's a loss of 1. 2nd and 11. Ball spotted at the 31-yard line of the Wildcats. Ashton Hewling, the ball carrier that last play, is the new quarterback in there for the Riverhawks. As pretty much all new faces in there. Aiden Hewling is the running back in the backfield. Cale Johnson will play fullback. Snaps bobbled and fumbled, but it's going to be picked up. Short gain on the play. Hewling did manage to get a hold of that snap after dropping it originally, and they pushed it forward for a gain of 2. That's going to bring up 3rd and 9, ball spotted at the 29-yard line of the Wildcats as Hewling comes back in with the play call. Some young guys, some guys that usually don't get much playing time, getting some experience right here for both sides. As we've got 3rd and 9, see if the Wildcat defense can get a big stop here. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, as Hewling is in the shotgun. Takes snap low, he's going to throw. A lot of pressure in there, screenplay. Pass is caught by Aiden Hewling. He breaks 1 tackle, but he can't break that one as Aiden Klosterman makes a nice tackle. As they're actually going to end up going backwards 1 yard on the screenplay. That'll make it 4th and 10. Ball's going to be spotted at the 30-yard line. See if the Wildcats can hold here as the Riverhawk offense is still on the field. Looks like they are going to plan on going for it. Riverhawks coming to the line for this 4th and 10 opportunity. Wildcat defense going to try to get a big stop here. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ashton Hewling in the shotgun. Takes a low snap. Some pressures there. He gets rid of it. Pass is going to be caught by Ethan Farrell, and he's going to be into the end zone for the touchdown. Great hustle by Aiden Klosterman on that play. Wasn't his man that caught it, but he did get right there and tackled him as he went into the end zone. But the Riverhawks will get credit for the touchdown, as Ethan Farrell, the man who just caught the pass, is going to attempt the extra point. As it's 77-0 here in Preston. Once again, Porter Fegan will hold. Hayden Felke will send it back as the snapper, and Ethan Farrell will attempt to put another point on the board for the Riverhawks. Good snap, it's down, kicks on its way, and it's through the uprights and good. As the Riverhawks take the 78-0 lead here with 3:25 to go in the third quarter. So with some backups in the game for the Riverhawks, see if the Wildcats can put together a nice scoring drive. They've definitely looked better here in the second half. They've had some opportunities, but they haven't quite been able to get anything going. Once again, 3:25 on the clock. Easton Valley leads 38-0. Return team back out there for the Wildcats. Marshall Vandevet will be deep. And the Riverhawks huddling on the field, and now they're coming out to kick it off. Ethan Farrell, he just caught the touchdown pass and knocked in the extra point. Now he's going to kick it off once again for the Riverhawks. Makes his approach, and line drive kick. That one might go out of bounds as well, and sure enough, nice catch there by one of the members of the chain gang. Made a nice one-handed grab off the bounce. But the kick did go out of bounds, so we're going to back him up 5, and we're going to try that again. As they'll kick it off from the 25-yard line this time. And it looks like we might have a new kicker for the Riverhawks. That's going to be Colton Murphy. He's accounted for a lot of their yards in the ground, and he's going to tee it up this time as they're going to go with a new kicker after a few of the kicks went out of bounds. Marshall Vandevet set up about the 8-yard line. As Colton Murphy's going to kick it off for the Riverhawks. Makes his approach. Line drive kick. But it rolls and rolls, and it's going to roll all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
Farrell's kick rolls into the end zone for a touchback.
Wildcats will take it out to the 15-yard line. The ball couldn't have gone more than 6 feet off the ground. But it took a nice Riverhawk roll and went all the way into the end zone for the touchback. So ball will come out to the 15-yard line. Wildcats will take over 1st and 10. As it looks like the freshman Jaden Hanson is going to take over the quarterbacking duties for the Wildcats. Hanson and Klosterman in the backfield. All 8 Riverhawks are in the box. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Arwen Betzer, who's in at fullback. There is a flag on the play.
Flags on the play.
4 new Riverhawks coming onto the field. Make that 5 new Riverhawks in there. And 6, another one's in there. Illegal procedure called against the Wildcats. That's the flag. And they're going to back him up 5 yards. As I believe when everything told, 8 new Riverhawks in there on defense. They had the 8 starters in there for the first play, and then they switched them out. Once again, Hanson and Klosterman in the backfield. Betzer at the fullback position. Betzer takes it, pushing his way forward. Still fighting. Nice run there by Betzer, and that's going to be a solid gain. Gain of about 6 for Arwen Betzer, the sophomore. Was not at Central City a year ago, but he's here now, and he's looked all right in the opportunities he's had. He started on defense last week at nose guard and got a few carries at the fullback spot. He gained 6 there, and it's going to be 2nd and 9. Ball spotted at the 16. And Klosterman takes the snap. He's going to the right or the left side, but he's going to be taken down. Keaton Wilson in there on the tackle for a loss. Correction, that was Ashton Hewling on the tackle. That's going to march him back a few yards. It's going to be 3rd and 15. Ball spotted at the 10.
No gain on the play.
as they knocked him back 5 yards that time around as the Wildcats come up to the line of scrimmage. Same two in the backfield, Hansen and Klosterman, as Rickles and Betzer split out to the left. Hansen fakes the pitch. He's going to throw. He gets rid of it. Ball's in the air, and Klosterman can't quite make the tackle, but he does do a nice job of making sure the pass wasn't intercepted either. Caden Ross was right there, but Klosterman did a good job to knock the ball out of his hands so he couldn't intercept it. Incomplete pass makes it 4th and 15. Ball spotted at the 10. And we'll see if they send the punt team out there. I don't think so. Riverhawk defense thinks there will be a punt, but I don't think the Wildcat offense plans on doing so. As sure enough, Wildcat offense staying on the field. Hansen and Klosterman in the backfield. Snap's going to go to Klosterman. He's taking it out to the right side. He's still going, and he's going to be, big hit. Knocks Klosterman down after a gain of 7 or 8. Not a bad run by Klosterman, but it will be turnover on downs after a big hit by one of the Riverhawks. Klosterman's up. He seems to be all right, though. So Riverhawks will have it 1st and 10. Ball's going to be placed about the 18-yard line, it looks like. 30 seconds on the clock and counting, so. And looks like the referees are going to send the teams over to the sidelines, and that's going to end the 3rd quarter. As the referee just said to have that be the last play of the quarter. So the Riverhawks will have it in Wildcat field positioning once again. Still 10 seconds on the clock, but neither team has any intention of running another play, so that is the end of the 3rd quarter. After 3 quarters of play here from Preston, the Riverhawks hold the big lead, 78-0.
That'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. Riverhawks are 78.
So just one more quarter to go here as the Wildcats are already back onto the field to begin the 4th quarter of play. Riverhawks not back onto the field yet. The Wildcats are ready to get things going here. 12 minutes of play here in Preston. Riverhawks coming back out now. As they are going to have it 1st and 10 in good field positioning. Ball spotted at the 18-yard line of the Wildcats. We currently only have freshmen or sophomores on the field for the Wildcats as we're getting the younger guys some experience. Riverhawks coming up to the ball, waiting for the chain crew to be in position. And then we're going to get things going here to begin the 4th quarter of play.
We'll start the 4th quarter here with the Riverhawks 1st and 10 from the 18.
1st and 10 from the Wildcats, 18 for the Riverhawks. Ashton Hewling under center, Aiden Hewling behind him, and Hayden Felke behind him at the running back position. Hewling takes a snap, pitch goes to Felke. He cuts it back. He's got a seam up the middle of the field over to the left, and he's going to run to the end of the end zone. Riverhawks punch in another score, and that'll increase their lead. 84 points put on the board so far by the Riverhawks. We've got 11:55 to play in the 4th quarter, as Ethan Farrell's going to attempt another extra point. Hayden Felke, the man who just scored the touchdown, will snap it, and Porter Fegan will hold. Good snap, good hold, kicks on its way, and it's going to be good for the extra point. With 11:55 to go here in the final quarter of play, Easton Valley takes the lead 85-0. Wildcats will get the ball back here. They hope to put together a scoring drive which they've been unable to do to this point in the ball game. Be great for the confidence of the team if they could put 6 points on the board here before things are through. Marshall Vandevet is back out on the field to return the kickoff. He's going to be back deep. Once again, it's going to be Colton Murphy kicking off for the Riverhawks after he kicked off last time as well. Had a line drive kick that did manage to go into the end zone for the touchback. As he's setting up, kick is a little higher than last time, but still not too high, as Vandevet's going to field it about the 4. He's going to take it up the right sideline. Breaks one tackle, breaks another. Spin move. He's still going, but he's going to be taken down shy of the 20. Plays about the 22, 23-yard line. Wildcats will take over right there. Excuse me, that'll be the 17 or 16-yard line. See where they place it. Going to spot it right at the 17-yard line where the Wildcats will take over 1st and 10. Once again, I think solely freshmen and sophomores out there right now. As Hansen and Klosterman, both freshmen, will be in the backfield. Snap's going to go to the fullback, if I can get a number on him. Nice run there, as I couldn't quite get the number. And that was Christopher Greif on the carry. Freshman. Getting some playing time late in this one, as a nice run. His older brother, Lucas Greif, a sophomore, has played some quarterback tonight. Christopher Greif now gets the ball. Then he pushes forward for a gain of about 6. Call it 2nd and 4 from the 23 for the Wildcats.
Gain of about 6. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 4.
Coming back up to the line of scrimmage. Greif still at fullback. We've got Hansen and Klosterman in the backfield. Snap's going to go to Klosterman. He's bringing up the field. A nice run. He's still going. He's going to have a first down, but he loses the football. And I think the Riverhawks got on top of it. We'll see once they get everybody out of the pile what the outcome is. Oh, the Wildcats did manage to hang on to the ball. As Aiden Klosterman had a really nice run there. He just couldn't quite hang on to it there at the end. But one of the Wildcats did manage to get on top of it. It'll be 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the 31-yard line. Jaden Hansen coming back out. Luke Birds and Lucas Greif both coming onto the field, as Christopher Greif will come out. Coming up to the line of scrimmage are the Wildcats. Klosterman is the receiver on the left, and Greif's on the right. Jaden Hansen in the backfield, as Luke Birds will also be a receiver on the right, or excuse me, on the left side. Hansen's going to throw. Man's right there. He gets destroyed as he throws, but the pass is just out of the reach of Lucas Greif. It was a nice-looking throw by Jaden Hansen, especially considering he got blown up right as soon as he let go of it. Just off the fingertips of Lucas Greif, however. If he could have gotten the throw there, it's probably a Wildcat touchdown, but as it stands, we've got 2nd and 10 at the 31. Wildcats coming up to the line of scrimmage. Again, Greif to the left this time. Birds and Klosterman to the right. Jaden Hansen will throw. As Hansen looks, some more pressure in his face. He gets hit again. That's a wobbly throw. Klosterman will have managed to get underneath of it, though, as he's taken down after the catch. The ball's going to be spotted right about the 30, let's say the 38-yard line. Or excuse me, that's the 33-yard line of the Riverhawks. So Wildcats have managed to get into Riverhawk territory after a nice catch by Aiden Klosterman. And he's looked pretty good, all things considered tonight. Just a freshman, he's made some good plays. Direct snap to Christopher Greif. He's still driving. He's churning those legs, and he moves forward about 5 yards. Wait for the spot to see where he is called, but nice run there by Christopher. Going to spot it at the 28, so a gain of 5, 2nd and 5 from the 28-yard line for the Wildcats. They've got something going here. Clock reads 8 minutes to go here from Preston. Greif and Klosterman in the backfield this time. Snap's going to go to Greif. He's going to keep it himself, and he's taken down right away. Dylan Beck right there to knock him down. for a loss.
Dylan Beck meets number 21, Lucas Grief, at the hole and drives him.
And they're going to place the ball at the 31-yard line. That'll make it
For the Wildcats.
3rd and about 8. The Wildcats' opportunity to try to convert this 3rd down, see if they can get it done. Christopher Greif is still that fullback position. Hanson and Closerman in the backfield. Closerman takes a snap, misses one tackle, but once again, Dylan Beck is right there to drag him down for a loss.
Dylan Beck.
It's going to make it 4th and long. Ball's spotted at the 40. We got 3rd and 12. And the Wildcat offense is still out there. I think they're going to go for it. Once again, ball's at the 35-yard line. It's 4th and 12. Wildcats going to try to convert here on 4th and long. See if they can get it done. One receiver to the left, 2 to the right. Jaden Hanson all alone in the backfield. He's going to take the snap. Going to look to throw. Gets rid of it. It's caught. Lucas Greif on the catch, but he's going to be short as he's taken down by Caden Ross for pretty modest gain, and he's going to be shy of the yard to gain. And it's going to be another turnover on downs. We got 6:20 to play here from Preston. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line. And we're going to take an official timeout, as we have throughout the night and as we will all season. 6:12 on the clock. As I'll take this opportunity to give another shout out to Next Bank. Each person and family has unique financial needs. That's why we offer a variety of personal banking and lending products. We offer everything you need from your personal financial success, from checking and savings accounts to loans and online services. Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. So again, big thank you to Next Bank for all they do to help support Central City athletics, and specifically the Wildcat sports broadcasts, such as this one right now. Here in Preston, we've got a score of Easton Valley 85, Wildcats 0, with 6:12 to play in the 4th quarter. It's been all Riverhawks at this point, as they've been able to put a lot of points up on the board, and the Wildcats have not been able to get it into the end zone to this point. Wildcat defense making their way back onto the field. Riverhawks are going to have it 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line on the left hash. A lot of younger guys getting some good playing opportunities tonight. Quarterback is Ashton Hewling under center for the Riverhawks. Takes a snap. Handoff goes to Aiden Hewling. He's going to be wrapped up. Maybe a gain of 1. Wade Yoder was in there for the Wildcats. Or excuse me, that's Christopher Greif.
Aiden Hewling on the carry. Brought down by the interior line there for the Wildcats.
And we'll see where they spot it. Looks like they're going to spot it right back where it was. Maybe gained half a yard. Call it 2nd and 10 from the 30. Nice job there by the Wildcat defense to blow up that play before it had a chance to develop. As the Riverhawk offense comes back up to the line of scrimmage. One receiver out to the left is Ethan Farrell. 4 linemen, quarterback, fullback, and running back all lined up, and there's a flag on the play. Potentially delay a game, and I think that's what the call is. Yep. Referee looked at his watch right as he threw the flag, so delay a game penalty is going to march the Riverhawks back 5 yards. Be 2nd and 15, ball spotted right about the 25-yard line of the Riverhawks as they come back to the line. Going to try it again. Dayton Price running onto the field at the last minute. Going to be lined up on the defensive line. Hewling's going to hand it off, and there's nothing there for the running back Hayden Felke, as the Wildcats were right there. Troy Curtis was in there, and Dayton Price looked like he was in there as well. They're going to knock him back a yard, if anything. Looked like they knocked him back about half a yard. Going to call it still 3rd and 15. Ball's still at the 25-yard line. Couple nice plays there in a row by the Wildcat defense to hold the Riverhawks to very little, if anything. Same formation, one receiver to the left, a quarterback, fullback, and a running back in the backfield. Quarterback under center, takes a snap. He's going to keep it himself. Quarterback's Ashton Hewling. He's going to break one tackle, but he's not going to be able to break any more as the Wildcats take him down for a loss.
Wildcats out in the end.
Looks like Braden Rickles, one of the first Wildcats there. Luke Bird's also in there, as was Dayton Price.
Birds in on the stop.
Great job on this possession by the Wildcat defense, as I think the Riverhawks are going to punt it away. Lucas Greif will be back deep to return if that is indeed the case, as they've got fourth and very long ball spotted at about the 22-yard line. As we've got about 4 minutes to play here in Preston. Looks like just waiting on a new football from the ball boys on the sidelines. A little bit of confusion from the young men taking care of the footballs tonight, but we've got it all sorted out. 4th and 18 is how we stand here. Ball's at the 22. As it appears, Colton Murphy will punt it away for the Riverhawks, as he stands about his own 13-yard line. Lucas Greif back deep to return. He stands at the 25. That one's away. It's wobbly. It's still going. It's going to go out of bounds. Not a bad punt there on the play, as the Wildcats will have it 1st and 10. We've got 3.5 to play.
First and 10 for the Wildcats with 3:25 remaining in the game.
And they're going to spot the ball right about the 20-yard line of the Wildcats, as this is going to be the last chance, presumably, for the Wildcats to put some points on the board, as running clock has us at about 3 minutes to go. Jaden Hanson, quarterback, running it in from the sideline. Just a freshman, like many of the players out on the field right now, as the Wildcats come to the line of scrimmage. Hanson and Klosterman in the backfield. Betzer's at fullback. Hanson's going to throw. Pass is bobbled, and it's going to be incomplete. Intended for Braden Rickles. He had a chance at it, but there were a couple Riverhawks there as well, so it would have been a really tough catch if he did manage to get it. Ball falls to the ground. 2nd and 10. Ball's at the 20. 2.5 to go. We're going to try it again here with 2nd down. Luke Bird's out to the left, and Aiden Klosterman to the right. Lucas Greif also out to the left. Jaden Hanson, the quarterback, in the shotgun. Takes a snap, looking to throw. He's got pressure, rolling to his left, gets rid of it, and it's going to be incomplete. Nobody really in the vicinity of that one, but he also had some pressure in his face, so maybe didn't get quite the touch on it he wanted to, but nonetheless, another incomplete pass makes it 3rd and 10, still 20. And clock's rolling down to 1:50 and counting here in Preston, as this one's nearly over. Wildcats once again up to the line. Same formation as last time. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Jaden Hanson, the quarterback, in the shotgun. He takes a snap. He's going to, looks to throw, but now he's going to take off. He's going to get a gain of about 5. Got to the 25-yard line before Ashton Hewling met him and set him down. And that'll make it 4th and 5 at the 25.
4th down and 5 for the Wildcats with a minute and 10 left on the clock.
Clock still rolling here. We're about a minute 10 to go, as the Wildcats will try to convert this 4th down. Wildcats up to the line. One receiver to the left. Jaden Hanson in the shotgun. He takes a snap. It's going to go to Aiden Klosterman. He cuts back, makes one man miss, but he's taken down for a loss, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. As the Riverhawks manage to get another stop, and they'll take over. Just 40 seconds left in the clock, so we'll see if they do run one final play here before we call it a night. Doesn't appear they will, as I believe that is going to be it. 25 seconds left in the clock, but they're not going to run another play, and that's how we're going to end things tonight. Final score, Wildcats 85, or excuse me, Riverhawks 85. I wish Wildcats 85. Wildcats 0. As final 10 seconds about to tick off the clock, and that's going to do it. Final buzzer sounds, and it's official. Final score, Easton Valley 85, Central City 0. So just one of those nights for the Wildcats. They couldn't really get anything going on either end of the ball. Couldn't get many stops or get many solid offensive drives put together. But when you have a fairly young team like the Wildcats do, things like that are going to happen. It's all about how you bounce back, as they'll have another opportunity next week as they come home to play the Don Bosco Dons, as the Wildcats will be at home the next 2 weeks. We'll be broadcasting that game live next Friday, September 11th. We'll start about 6:50, just like we did tonight. As that's going to be it. I'm David Warrington. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Next Wildcat Sports broadcast will be this Tuesday, September 8th, when the Wildcats JV and varsity volleyball teams make their home debut versus Waterloo Christian. JV will start at 6, and then the varsity will follow that. So if you can't make it to the game in Central City this Tuesday, make sure you listen in starting at 6 o'clock here on Wildcat Sports. That's going to do it from Preston tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening in. Once again, I'm David Warrington, and I'll sign off by saying